Doody doo dee dee doo. Welcome to Watch It Play Badly. Today we are going to learn the 2 to 5 player game Paint the Roses by North Star Games. I called it. In Paint the Roses, you and your teammates have been appointed as royal gardeners. Your job is to decorate the garden in a manner that will please the Queen of Hearts. Unfortunately, the Queen seems to be more interested in removing your heads than having a beautiful garden. Let's begin by setting up the board. We will take the 8 starting tiles, these are the tiles with the solid green borders, and we will place them in their corresponding spaces on the board. Next, we will place the Queen on space 44, the Rabbit on the spaces between 9 and 10, and we will place the Gardener, that's us, on space 0. We are setting up for a 3-player game, so we will place 3 sets of 6 clue cubes by the edge of the board. Next, we will take the remaining tiles and we will place them into the bag. We will then take 4 of those tiles at random and add them to the greenhouse. Shuffle the 3 decks, easy, medium and hard, and place them within easy reach of the board. To begin the game, each player will take an easy, medium or hard whim card. Remember, only one player at a time can take an easy whim card. These cards will allow you to move around the board, with the hard cards successfully solved, allowing you to move more places than the easy cards. And that's it, we're set up. We're going to work together to finish the garden whilst deciphering the changing requests of the Queen. Each player will have a whim card representing the Queen's preferences. In each turn, players will place a shrub tile in the garden to give clues about those cards. And if you have the greenhouse, that's this one, you will go through each of the phases in order. Those phases are place a tile, place clue tokens, guess a whim card, move the Queen, and replenish. The whim cards come in 3 different types. We have easy cards, medium cards, and hard cards. You will notice that the easy cards say colour to colour, the medium say colour to colour, shape to shape, and the hard say colour to colour, shape to shape, and colour to shape. Let's begin with an easy card. These are colour to colour. These tell us that the other players are trying to guess that we have a purple and a yellow colour. On your go then, you will take the greenhouse into your hand and you will begin by taking one of these tiles and placing them on the board. There are no rules to placement with the exception that they must lie within a recessed area of the board and you cannot place them on top of already placed tiles. Let's suppose we have the easy card and we want to tell our teammates that we have the purple and the yellow colours. We might choose to take the yellow tile into our hand and place it on the board between the 2 purple tiles that already exist. Once we've placed those tiles, our job is to place clue cubes on them. We know that we are trying to tell our teammates that we have a purple and a yellow adjacent colour. Now we look at the new tile that we just placed and we count how many adjacent tiles match that pattern. So at this point, this yellow and this purple match my card, and this yellow and this purple match my card. So I will place 2 clue cubes on this space. My teammates will now go around and perform the same. Suppose, for instance, the purple player had the card showing 2 spades. We will look at the newly placed tile and we will work out how many of those adjacent tiles match that pattern. This tile and this tile are both spades, but the other ones are just diamonds. So the purple player will place 1 purple tile on here. Finally, we'll go to the 3rd player. Let's suppose the 3rd player has a matching shape and colour. The shape is the clubs and the colour is red. We will look at the newly placed tile only and we will see that none of these adjacent tiles match this pattern. Not only are there no reds, but there are also no clubs on this tile or adjacent to it. So the yellow player cannot place a clue cube. Once this has happened, all players are freely allowed to discuss which cards they think the other player has. At this point, you must take a guess. If you do not take a guess, the Queen counts that as a fail and she will move. So, suppose the yellow player and the purple player were able to guess that the first player, the green player, had a purple and yellow card. They would lock that in, and then because they get it right, their player, their pawn, moves 1 space around the board. Now, the Queen starts off with a movement of 1. The Queen will always move once all guesses have taken place. So to start off with, she will move 1 space. If, however, we had got it wrong, the queen doubles its speed and the queen would have moved 2 spaces. The green player can now take the green cubes back into their hand, but the purple cube, because that has not been guessed yet, will stay on the board. So the final stage is the replenish stage. In the replenish stage, players take a random tile from the bag and place it in the greenhouse, and then they pass the greenhouse to the player on their left. Play continues until either the queen catches the gardener and shouts, "Off with your head," or until players between them complete the garden by filling every recess space with a tile. However, there is an extra feature, and that is the rabbit. If at any point the gardeners pass the rabbit will move to the next space with the rabbit symbol on it. In this case, that's between 19 and 20. The queen will then speed up. She will take a flower and her speed increases by 1. So this queen here currently has a speed of 2. So each time the queen will move, she will move 2 spaces. And if you get the guess wrong, she will move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And that's Paint the Roses. There is a slight change on a 2-player game. On a 2-player game, the players between them gain 3 extra cubes. These 3 cubes will allow you to skip a guess, essentially. So if you pass, the queen doesn't instantly count that as a fail. So you have 3 opportunities to skip or pass rather than risk the queen catching up with you. And that's Paint the Roses. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and you'll get notified of any new videos made literally just for you and no one else, like an absolute pleb.